our editorial team very quickly exposed Donald Trump's McDonald's stunt in Pennsylvania, where he was trying to, I guess, troll Vice President Kamala Harris by working the fry machine because he's obsessed with the fact that she once worked at McDonald's, and he claims that she's lying because she didn't put it on her law resume when she was a lawyer. Now, what we uncovered was that this specific McDonald's was actually closed for the day, that Donald Trump and his team made rehearsals with respect to the PR stunt. It was shut down, the McDonald's. They did rehearsals before it took place. They brought in all of their MAGA supporters to pretend that they were actual customers at this McDonald's, which was closed down. We also identified that this specific McDonald's is actually owned by a franchise owner who has fought against raising the minimum wage to a living wage. And the franchise owners, McDonald's, have been subject to many protests for people regarding their work conditions. Let's break it all down, but I want to remind you that we here at the MeidasTouch Network have been exposing one after another all of Donald Trump's stunts, because when Donald Trump goes to a union shop in Michigan, it turns out that it is a non-union shop, the ultimate scam move. Donald Trump pays off non-union workers and a non-union shop $20,000 to pretend that the shop is actually a union shop, and then he gives people t-shirts that say union workers for Trump who are non-union workers. When Donald Trump was recently in Scranton, Pennsylvania, he had people dress up as Scranton firefighters. These people were not firefighters, and their signs said firefighters for Trump. The local union had to say, these people are not firefighters. We don't know who they are. Recently, for example, J.D. Vance gave a speech in front of a group of people who said auto workers for Trump. Guess what? They were not auto workers. The Detroit News, good local news, questioned these individuals. Turns out they're not auto workers. Donald Trump goes to Detroit in front of a so-called black church, but it's actually a church embroiled in litigation where the congregants sued the pastor, and Donald Trump brought in all of his white MAGA supporters to fill it, not actual black congregants. And Donald Trump said, look, I'm speaking at a black church. Donald Trump said he was doing an event in Harlem and a bodega, and he said, look at all the support I have in Harlem. It turns out we identified at the MeidasTouch Network that a lot of the people who were there and cheering for him were actually part of the young Republicans. And you could see them in the photo before and see them in the crowd. They were the ones chanting, and this kind of manufactured event. Recently, Fox did a so-called town. I could name like literally hundreds of these because they happen every day. I'm going to get to the McDonald's, but it's important that you know each of these scams, right? Recently, Donald Trump did a town hall in Georgia that was billed as like all of these like just regular average Georgia women who are undecided about voting. Turns out that they were actually from the Republican Federation of Georgia, an extreme right MAGA group. Fox edited it out when they said, oh, we support Donald Trump. Their Facebook page said that they were organizing this event with Fox. When they were called out, they changed the Facebook page to actually say that they were just attending the event, but Fox would edit out when they would go, oh, longtime Trump supporters here. All right, that brings us to the McDonald's event. Let's go through what our editorial team uncovered. Of course, you've seen the photos of Donald Trump at the McDonald's. Where is his hairnet? He probably should be laying off the fries. Coincidence? What's with fast food places and sex offenders? But our editor-in-chief, Ron Filipkowski, then posted this. So the place wasn't even open. It was all staged and fake. He didn't work for real at a McDonald's. It was a stage fraud just like every other event. Take a look at the company that the franchise owners, DG Torsdale LLC. The owner is someone by the name of Derek Giacomotinio. We plan to be closed on Sunday, October 20th until 4 p.m. to accommodate a visit at the request of former President Trump and his campaign. While we are not a political organization, we proudly open our doors to everyone. And as a locally owned and operated location, this visit provides a unique opportunity to shine a light on the positive impact on small businesses here in Pennsylvania, we're equally honored to share the significance of what 1 in 8 Americans have experienced, that a job at McDonald's is more than just a job. It's a pathway to critical skill development and meaningful career opportunities. Having started my McDonald's journey as a crew member in New York nearly 30 years ago, this path to economic opportunity is especially meaningful to me. What he doesn't say there, of course, is that the minimum wage has actually not been raised since probably he started over 30 years ago. I apologize for the inconvenience of closing our restaurant and sincerely look forward to serving you very soon. Signed, Derek Giacomantonio. So it was actually closed for the day. Here, the media is just, showing it, but then they don't actually do it in their reports. Cars rehearsing ahead of Donald Trump, who's expected to be serving his supporters McDonald's food. So let me get this right. Reporters and people are saying what's happening, but that doesn't make its way into the reports. They're doing rehearsals like this is a Broadway play with his supporters so that they can act surprised that he's there when the McDonald's is closed. Let's talk about this specific franchise owner and this McDonald's, shall we? Because I think it's an important conversation that needs to be had, especially because when Donald Trump was asked during the staged event by a reporter if he thinks the minimum wage should be raised, Donald Trump has repeatedly opposed efforts to raise the minimum wage. Here's what Donald Trump says at this stunt. Play it.
Minimum wage should be raised.
Well, I think these people work hard. They're great. And I just saw something, a process that's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing to see. These are great franchises and produce a lot of jobs, and it's great. And great people working here, too.
But minimum wage
have recently increased.
So, yes, ma'am.
The best bacon, the best steak, the best chicken, the best salmon you'll ever eat. It's not going to come from the grocery store. It's going to come from the family farm and independent Alaskan fishermen. And now you can get it when you join the Moink movement today. Moink delivers grass-fed and grass-finished beef and lamb, pastured pork and chicken, and sustainable wild-caught Alaskan salmon straight to your door. Moink farmers farm like our grandparents did. And as a result, Moink meat tastes like it should because the family farm does it better. And the Moink difference is a difference that you can actually taste. Unlike the supermarket, Moink gives you the total control over the quality and source of your food. You choose the meat delivered in every box, like ribeyes to chicken breast to pork chops to salmon fillets and much more. Plus, you can cancel it at any time. And I love that Moink is helping save rural America. Join the Moink movement today, and you'll never turn back. Shark Tank host Kevin O'Leary called Moink's bacon the best bacon he's ever tasted, and Ring Doorbell founder Jamie Siminoff jumped at the chance to invest in Moink. Plus, they guarantee you'll say, oink, oink, I'm just so happy I got Moinked. I know I do, and you will too. Keep American farming going by signing up at moinkbox.com/MeidasTouch right now, and listeners of our show get free hot rolls in your first box. It's the best hot rolls you'll ever taste for a limited time. It's spelled MOINK box.com/MeidasTouch. That's moinkbox.com/MeidasTouch. One more time, moinkbox.com/MeidasTouch. So now let's take a look at this specific McDonald's, because the owner, who I just showed you, who posted that sign about how it's closed, he's been on the front lines of opposing raising the minimum wage to a living wage. Here was a change.org petition from 2019. Call the owner of McDonald's to raise the wages. And it goes on to talk about that specific owner. And then here were people protesting in front of that franchise owner's McDonald's. You see them right there. And here was the press release that came out December 19th, 2019. Who was in office December 19th, 2019? Donald Trump. What was Donald Trump's policies then for all the workers who were watching this? Donald Trump opposed raising the minimum wage to a living wage, despite promising, because he always lies, in his 2016 campaign, he said that he supported raising the minimum wage. When he was in office, he was against it. Similarly, you know how Donald Trump, to all my Nevada voters out there, you know how Donald Trump's thing was no tax on tips, no tax on tips? Do you know what Donald Trump's policy was when he was in office, right? As former President Barack Obama says, let's not have amnesia here. Donald Trump was in office and he has a record. Well, let me tell you, Donald Trump's policy, his position, and here's what his position would be again, was that the business owners should steal the tips of their workers. Donald Trump believes that the tips go to the business owners. The business owners lay claim to the tips themselves. So if you're a service worker, you know why you're not going to be taxed on tips? Because your tips aren't yours. They go to the business owner. And the business owner gets to claim the tips, your tips, as tax-free. And then they have another loophole to get richer. That was Donald Trump's policies. Do you know how that policy was blocked? In an omnibus bill, Democrats blocked the rule that Donald Trump posed to steal your tips. That's actually what happened. And I know corporate media doesn't want to actually give you all of the facts and give you the context when Donald Trump spews his lies or does these stunts, but that's what happened. Do the research for yourself. Here is the press release by Senator Haywood, a state senator in Pennsylvania, about this specific owner of the McDonald's where Donald Trump did his stunt at, this fraudulent stunt at. State Senator Harwood did this event outside McDonald's. This was an effort to get owner Derek Giacomintonio to raise the wage of his employees to $15 an hour. We're sending a message this season, said Senator Haywood. Hopefully our songs will heal Derek G's heart and allow him to pay his employees a living wage. With the joy of the holiday season, we are singing with love and compassion for a fair and living wage for all. In January, Senator Haywood hosted a Power to Raise the Wage event right here. So this specific location and this specific owner shares Donald Trump's views that the minimum wage should not be raised to a living wage, unlike Vice President Kamala Harris, who believes in a living wage. Now, let me talk to you and you may go, well, look, but McDonald's is struggling. You know, this is expensive for business owners. Let's talk about that. How much money do you think the CEO of McDonald's made this past year? If you guessed $20 million, you would be correct. He probably made slightly more than $20 million. What about, say, the CFO, the Chief Financial Officer of McDonald's, Kevin Ozen? How much money did he make? Oh, $10 million. What about the international head, one of the presidents of one of the McDonald's subsidiaries? $8.3 million. Another McDonald's executive, Joe Erlinger, $7.45 million. Chris Kempinski, who's the CEO, made $20 million that was in 2021, and now he's making about the same, if not more, in 2024. So that's how much money he's made. Now, you know how people, one of the big issues everybody's talking about, inflation, and rightfully so. But one of the main issues here is actually corporations raising their prices and then blaming it on inflation to try to undermine the current administration. That's one of the things that's happening. Fortunately, in America, inflation has dropped because of the Inflation Reduction Act and policies by this administration. That doesn't mean that everything is great, but just take a look at this. And this is from marketwire.com, and I want you to see how they handle this and how they report on it, because it's screwed up. That goes, McDonald's profit. This was April 25th, 2023, right? So since that time, inflation has come down significantly, but that was kind of even towards the height of everything. McDonald's profit climbs 63% as consumers absorb higher prices. That's how the elites are talking about you and me, as consumers absorb the higher prices. In other words, what they're saying is that they've come up with their own scam. The way Trump does his scam, these business owners, their scam is because everyone's worried about inflation and now they're going to be blaming everything on just this mystical inflation, we'll be willing to absorb higher prices when it's really them now making record profits, climbing 63%. By the way, I think they should I'm great with businesses making profit. I'm a capitalist. I think they should make a lot of money. But ultimately, we should be treated with respect. You should be treated with respect. And where is this coming from? Where is this oligarchical policy coming from? Open your eyes, people. It's coming from Trump and the MAGAs. And when Trump goes to Mar-a-Lago and he says, I'm rich as hell and you're rich as hell, and I'm going to make you so freaking rich, and all you rich people out there, I'm going to help you. He's saying to us, we the people, screw you. And then he does these little stunts and the media goes along with it. And he thinks that we're just so stupid that we're just going to go, he's one of us. He's one of us. No, he's the one who screws you. That's what he is. And this is all part of the long running con. Here he is at Mar-a-Lago saying, oh, we're all rich people. This is what rich people do. Play this clip.
Because you're all people that have a lot of money. I know 20 of you and you're rich as hell. We're going to give you tax cuts. We're going to pay off our debt. We're going to do all of the things that we have.
Back to McDonald's for a second. Take a look at this. McDonald's gross profit for the profit, not revenue, profit for the 12 months ending June 30th, 2024 was $14.64 billion, a 5.56% increase year over year. McDonald's annual gross profit 2023 was $14.5 billion, a 10.26% increase. McDonald's annual gross profit for 2022 was $13.2 billion. McDonald's annual gross profit for 2021 was $12.58 billion. And if I were to show you, it's not you, I'm showing you McDonald's. I could show you lots of other businesses like this, thousands, hundreds of thousands potentially, or at least tens of thousands. I'm showing you this because Donald Trump did the stunt at McDonald's. But the point I am making is they're making record profits. And then they're out there basically blaming, oh, well, the economy's not good. You're making a ton of money, and then you're making we absorb all of this. And then Donald Trump does the all 1-2 step and goes, well, look, I'm here at McDonald's, everybody. Look what I'm doing for all of you. So that's why I think it's important that we just delve deeper, because Donald Trump did the stunt there. And when you do a stunt there, I'm going to show the Midas Mighty specifically what is going on. Now, one of the other stunts that Donald Trump did, I forgot to mention at the beginning, but it's related to McDonald's, going into fast food places and using the fast food places to try to act like he's a man of the people, or that he's got certain support that he doesn't. So do you remember when he did the Chick-fil-A stunt? We exposed it here on the MeidasTouch Network. It was our editorial team who broke that story too. There's a woman named Michaela Montgomery. She's a black woman who goes event to event with Trump, gives him a hug, and Donald Trump's like, look, I have black support. Michaela Montgomery gives me a hug. And they try to do it in a way to make it seem like a black woman is spontaneously hugging him, but again, a plant. Here's a handy dandy chart we've made of Michaela Montgomery traveling spot to spot to spot with Donald Trump at the Palm Beach event, at the Black Church event, at the Chick-fil-A event, person to person to person, so the media could say, look, he must have support from black women at fast food restaurants, Chick-fil-A. So that's what's going on. We have exposed it at every level. And now I have 2 asks for you. The first one is simple. If you've liked this report, well, 3 asks. The first one, subscribe right now to our YouTube channel. That's the first thing you can do. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 4 million subscribers. You may think you're subscribed, but you may not be. So just check. Am I subscribed? Do I have my notifications on? Check. Second, make sure you're registered to vote and early vote. When you early vote, your name gets removed from the get out the vote rolls, and that allows the party to identify lower propensity voters. So vote early. Third, especially if you're in Nevada, Nevada returns for Democrats are coming in slow right now. So if you're in Nevada, please get out the message, call people that you know in Nevada, volunteer to do work in Nevada. Things are slow in Nevada. They're good in other states, but I don't want to paint a rosy picture where in Nevada there's issues. So if you can inspire people to make sure they're early voting, share these videos so they know. It's possible someone in Nevada is like, yeah, but I don't want to be taxed on tips. So no, let me be very clear. Donald Trump's policy is you don't get your tips. That the business owners get the tips. And then you can have someone in Nevada do their research and Google. Did Donald Trump say that business owners can take the tips? And did Democrats block that? Whoa, why are they lying to me? Because they lied to you about everything. That's what billionaires and decamillionaires who want to control you do. They're trying to trick you. So you get it. Get out the message. You know what to do. This is where I need you to be more, and I know you are, than just a passive viewer. When this video ends, go work. Do something. Help out right. We're in the final crunch right now. Register voters. Join phone banks. Do whatever. We need to get out the message, okay? And let me know what you're doing in the comments. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 4 million subscribers. Thanks for watching.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Midas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.